Local housing experts explain the term house poor in the final part of our housing series. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News. First, a power line fell on Boreas Pass Road outside of Breckenridge today, closing the road and cutting power for about 820 residents. Crews have been on site since noon for repairs, but Boreas is still closed at Bunker Hill Lode Road. There is no estimated time for when power will be restored. There's an old saying at Loveland, if you don't love the cold, you'll love the wind. And the wind was whipping at 13,000 feet for first tracks on the free Loveland Ridge Cat. Loveland's Duncan Maxwell explains.
High atop the Continental Divide, Loveland's Ridge Cat is bringing you to some of Loveland's most challenging terrain. Those who like it steep and deep, this is the ticket to ride.
A ride on the Ridge Cat takes about 5 minutes. That cuts 20 minutes off a boot pack to the top of double black terrain, where the snow was riding knee-deep all morning. If you don't love the wind, you'll love how it fills in tracks. And apologies if I butchered the saying. I heard it from 3 different people today, but the wind made it hard to hear. Yesterday, Krystal 93 reported on Frisco ballot measure 2B and the history of a parcel that is currently home to a pocket park and community center known as the 3rd and Granite Building. A group of locals has rallied against the measure, saying it seems the town wanted to fast-track new construction on the site. Frisco resident Pam Brote of No on 2B explains.
I try not to get into the politics of this because at the end of the day, we just want to save our open space. But we're really disturbed by the hand-picked people on the task force.
The Frisco Housing Task Force identified the site for affordable housing and included planners that drew preliminary building designs. Brote says this isn't a case of residents versus the town, though.
We got to get more involved. The town council needs our support. And so as a town, we've probably not been as involved as we should be.
Instead, Brote and others want to collaborate on the best use for the land and don't want to lose a home base for town events.
That's right in the core. I mean, the center of town. It's where our turkey trot starts. It's where our haunted house is. It's where all the races start.
Frisco's election is next Tuesday, April 3rd. Ballots are due to Town Hall by 5 p.m. that day. All other towns have canceled their elections. It's crunch time. In 4 days, my girlfriend and I move out of a home in Frisco and into the tumultuous Summit County housing market. This month-long series has tracked our search for a home, and I found that buying right now is the better financial option. We would save about $250 per month with a 30-year fixed mortgage for affordable housing. Our payment would be $1,750 monthly, but it comes with a down payment of $63,000. That would leave us house poor. Local broker Kaya Hansen explains the term.
Being house poor is nerve-wracking. You don't want to have to work 7 jobs. You want to be able to enjoy living here and not work all the time, but yet have a roof over your head.
I've learned the average rent in Summit is $1,000 per person, and the average home cost is $750,000. That price drops to $361,000 for a new affordable home, but we would have to wait at least 1 year for any of the 11 local projects to be ready.
So there's lots of construction. The county's trying to add more affordable housing, but as you know, we only have so much land to build on up here.
The last piece of the housing puzzle is harder to pin down than rent versus mortgage. I'm struggling with a crisis of community. Do I want to settle down in Summit County and call this place home? Or is it growing too fast and becoming so popular it won't even feel like home in 10 or 20 years? I still don't have an answer to that question. When I was a kid, my grandfather lived at the base of Peak 7 on American Way. I've wanted to live in Summit County ever since then, and I finally made it happen. But we sold Grandpa's home 15 years ago, and it's now worth about $800,000. Even he would balk at that value, and he surely would not be able to afford it. Neither can I. In the meantime, we need a place to live now, and we just bought ourselves 1 more year to plan. My girlfriend found a 2-bed, 1-bath rental on 5th Street in Frisco for $2,000 a month. We move in this weekend. It's a year lease, and by the time we move out, 3 affordable projects in 3 towns should be ready for move-in. We've entered the lottery for 1, but I just don't know if this is the kind of growing Summit County I want to call home. For the first 3 parts of the Housing Crunch series, with info on the rental and for sale markets, see the Krystal 93 YouTube page. In sports, the Avalanche and Nuggets are both off until tomorrow, and today is opening day of the Major League Baseball season. The Rockies play the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Game time is 8:10 p.m. In local sports, Summit High Baseball travels to Denver for Colorado Academy today. Lady Tigers Soccer plays Grand Junction at home, and boys lacrosse is in Gypsum for Eagle Valley. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News.